From the Tribune News Network, this is Newsbreak. I'm Krishna Russell. Police Commissioner Paul Roll says officers are actively searching for several suspects, some of whom are believed to have left town following the mass shooting on Jerome Avenue that left 6 men dead in April. Another person of interest, he added, is believed to have died since the incident. The police chief made the revelation during a virtual press conference yesterday when he was asked for an update on the investigation into the April 15th shooting. He told reporters, quote, "We have identified suspects in that particular incident, and I have a team of officers who are actively searching. I do not wish to, as I said then, to put that information in the public for reasons I have already explained. I do believe that a couple of those individuals have skipped town, and at least one is already deceased, but we will find them, and they will have to come back home to nest, and when they do, we will be waiting." Bernardo Bastian, also known as Crack Teeth, Travis Cooper, Maurice Pinder, Kendall Lord, Delano Smith, and DeQuant Brown were shot at the intersection of Jerome Avenue and Chesapeake Road when 4 men opened fire on them, killing them and injuring a 19-year-old woman and a toddler. The April 15th killing is considered to be the deadliest shooting in recent times. The Davis administration will allow retired civil servants who are re-engaged by the government to simultaneously receive their salary and their pension, a shift in policy from the Minnis administration. A memorandum seen by the Tribune says Cabinet has agreed that the present policy position, which does not allow for re-engaged public officers to retain their pension entitlements, be rescinded. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis criticized the Davis administration's policy shift yesterday, saying it represented a turn to the fiscally imprudent double-dipping policy that his administration stopped. Dr. Minnis also said the new administration is bringing back 3 senior retired civil servants. He challenged the administration to say whether the men will receive a higher salary than they got when they initially left the service. He said the policy of his administration was that the re-engaged retirees would not receive more money than what they made when they initially left the service. Asked for a response, Fred Mitchell, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Public Service, said yesterday, quote, "The government's advice is that someone's pension is earned, and you cannot lawfully deny them the pension. If you bring back someone, you seek to pay them what they are worth, and that they agree to." The snipes from the sidelines by the former Prime Minister do not justify the pay, which he gave to the chosen few in the face of and contrary to his own policies. Mr. Mitchell said the former Prime Minister is not credible. A former cabinet minister yesterday urged Bahamians to pull their money from Royal Bank of Canada after it cut interest rates on savings accounts and term deposits to zero. Loretta Butler Turner, who temporarily replaced Dr. Hubert Minnis as the opposition's House of Assembly leader prior to the 2017 general election, told the Tribune that the Canadian-owned bank's move would result in depositors losing money as the value of their holdings is eroded by the highest inflation rate the Bahamas has seen since 2013. With the International Monetary Fund projecting a 5% rise in consumer prices this year, she argued that RBC's decision to eliminate any return individuals and companies can earn on their deposits was a further sign that the bank needed to close down and push out. Veteran hotelier J. Barry Farrington died yesterday, prompting tributes from people including the president of the Atlantis Resort, who hailed him as one who charted the course to the Bahamas becoming an international destination. Mr. Farrington died after a long battle with cancer. He spent 41 years at Atlantis on Paradise Island, which bore many other names over the years. In 1995, Mr. Farrington was named Hotelier of the Year, and in 1997, Queen Elizabeth II honored him with the prestigious title of Commander of the Order of the British Empire. He received the Clement T. Maynard Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008 for outstanding contribution to the growth and development of tourism. He was also a lifetime director of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association. Your complete news and information source. This is the Tribune News Network. In international news, a congressional committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection has set a vote to recommend criminal contempt charges against former White House aide Steve Bannon after he defied the panel's subpoena today. The chairman of the panel, Representative Benny Thompson, said the committee will vote next week to recommend the charges. That would send the recommendation to the full House for a vote. If the House votes to recommend the contempt charges against Bannon, the Justice Department will ultimately decide whether to prosecute. The committee had demanded documents and testimony from Bannon, who was in touch with President Donald Trump ahead of the violent attack. The bow and arrow rampage by a man who killed 5 people in a small town near Norway's capital appeared to be a terrorist act, authorities said today. A bizarre and shocking attack in a Scandinavian country where violent crime is rare. Police identified the attacker as a 37-year-old Danish citizen who was arrested on the street Wednesday night. They said he used the bow and arrow and possibly other weapons to randomly target people at a supermarket and other locations in Kongsberg, a town of about 26,000 people where he lived. The Tribune's AccuWeather update, a service of Bahamas Power and Light Company. An upper-level trough will continue to enhance the development of showers and thunderstorms across the Bahama Islands. Mariners are to be alert for possible waterspout activity. For all areas, it'll be variably cloudy, hot, and humid, with isolated showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, becoming fair with cloudy periods and warm with a chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Winds north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable tonight. Seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. We'll have a daytime high temperature of 90 degrees and an overnight low temperature of 70. The sun will set this afternoon at 6:41 and will rise tomorrow morning at 7:08. That's Newsbreak. Details of the day's top stories in the Tribune newspaper now on the streets, or stay up to date online at Tribune242.com.